Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real, and we have a really exciting show. This is our 100th episode. So in order to do this right, we had to bring on our football NFL expert, and this is Odog. What's up, man? How you been?
I'm doing all right, and you?
Doing good. We have been trying to get this guy on the show since the very first episode, but he's a real busy man. We're glad you came on, man.
Thanks for inviting me.
A little nervous. This is his first time, so we're gonna treat him right. Okay. Now, Odog, we'll be talking about a lot of sports stuff. Some of this might not be your repertoire, so I'll just go with it. All right.
Okay.
First thing is, last night, Odog, in the NCAA basketball world, #1 Syracuse lost to Boston College, who wasn't even ranked in the top 20 in overtime with a 62-59 score. Now, for any of you out there that don't realize this, Syracuse was undefeated. They've been #1 the whole season. I mean, they've been on like a 30-game win streak. It's been amazing. And then they go in their own backyard, their own territory, at home, and get beat up by Boston College. It's pathetic. It's kind of unreal, actually. Have you ever heard of such a thing where a #1 seed loses to like an unranked school?
Never heard of it, but I mean, it does happen every now and then, but when it does, boy, it really gets people talking.
Yeah, the fans were excited. They stormed the court, of course. Boston College act like they won a national championship, but all they really did is they just beat up on a #1 seed. Now, with that said, Odog, Wichita State is the only NCAA team in basketball that's undefeated. This is the problem. They're ranked 3rd. Florida, who's ranked 2nd, I have a feeling, even though they've lost 2 games this season, are going to jump to that '1 spot, leaving Wichita looking from the outside in at that undefeated record right now.
That's probably more likely going to happen because Wichita's they're not really, they don't have the competition that Florida does have, and Florida probably has way better players than Wichita does.
Yeah, and they're on a more national stage. Wichita's in the middle of the country in Podunk, city, Kansas, and here's Florida, one of the major states and major cities. So, I mean, it's going to be Florida. We already know. But that doesn't mean that Wichita's still going to make the March Madness tournament along with pretty much every other team, because now that they expanded it to almost everybody makes it. But it's going to be exciting to see. Syracuse went down. We'll see what the polls say on who's #1 as of probably the weekend. Now, moving on from that, we have to go to NCAA football. Why? Because the Combine's starting, people are getting pumped up, and it's all about the Texans' #1 pick. What do you think? Should it be Menzel?
I think it should be Menzel. And Menzel, he's got this little bit of cockiness about him. I think the Cowboys do need somebody like that to, kickstart that, the Texans. Yeah. Texans to kickstart that program going again, because they hit a big old wall this year. I mean, they lost a coach, they lost a quarterback, they couldn't get anything going. So I think they need to get this guy, get that program going again.
Well, the Texans, I mean, they were projected by a lot of experts last year to go to a Super Bowl because they have such amount of talent. It's just their quarterbacks just keep screwing them over, it seems like.
Yes. So I think it's a good move. I think if they can get him. But I think.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Do you think if they didn't take him in the first pick, in the first round, that he might be able to fall to them later on in the draft, or will someone pick him up before?
I think somebody else is going to pick him up before that.
That's true. There's so many quarterback needs. I believe there's like 12 teams right now in the NFL that are going to be looking for a high-impact quarterback. So, folks, I tell you what. Give us your comments and feedback. We'd love to know. Who do you think? Should Menzel go first to the Texans, or should the Texans go? A lot of people are thinking they should go with maybe offense or defensive line help. Get a good linebacker, a good offensive tackle, something like that could jump in, is going to make an immediate impact. But a lot of people feel Johnny Menzel might be that player that can make that immediate impact.
He could be that player, but I mean, they also had that one quarterback that's the hometown quarterback. Not too sure of his name at this point, but he did pretty good too. But to get that big name in there, that's going to be real.
Well, he's definitely going to sell jerseys.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely going to get people's butts in the seats, and he's definitely going to be a high profile name coming into the draft.
Yes, he is.
Now, you were talking about something before we got filming where he's not even going to participate in the Columbine or the Combine right now?
Yes, he's not going to participate in the Combine, which is kind of, I don't agree with it. I mean, he's going to be one of the top 3-4 quarterbacks, guaranteed, yes. But to hold out on the Columbine, that's kind of messed up, I think, because the Combine is there to promote your athletic ability. And by holding out, he's just, letting these other quarterbacks, jump the board on him.
Yeah, and that could happen.
I mean, if somebody's out there that's, Menzel's not a tall quarterback at that point anyway. But if somebody comes out of the blue, about a 6'6" quarterback, maybe 220 pounds, that can throw bullets, I mean, he's going to get overlooked pretty quick. So
that's a good point. The Combine is actually really set up for players, for all you that do not know there, to shine, to show what they have to all of these scouts and these professional team people to say, hey, well, this is why we should draft this individual. So for Menzel to kind of go, hey, I'm so good, or at least his mentality is so cocky that, hey, I don't even have to show my arm, just my name alone should get me high in the draft. That's taking a pretty big risk.
It is. I think it is. I mean, there's always somebody out there that's,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, okay. So moving on from there, we have to go to. We're staying in the NCAA football world. Michael Sams. He is the football player from Missouri who came out a couple weeks ago and announced that he was gay right before the draft. Do you think that's a smart move or a bad move?
Being pro football player, going to be a pro football player, I think it's kind of a bad move. I mean, first off, I think it could hurt him in the long run because, maybe a team before this would have probably picked him, but now they're kind of like, now he's got the spotlight on him. Mm-hmm. Do we actually want that spotlight on our team too? So that's another thing that, kind of pops into my head about this. Yeah. And the other thing is, that kind of stuff should be, if you want to say that you're openly gay and all that, that's fine, but you're in the spotlight. You're going to be a pro, and everything you do from here on out, they're going to put that on you no matter what, whether you liked it or not. So, I don't know. I kind of wish he wouldn't have done that because it could hurt his chances of getting a higher spot.
Well, this is the way we're going to look at it right here. At the Average Joe Sports Talk Show, we don't care about who he goes to bed with. It's none of our business personally. Now, I know as a professional football, like you said, they got spotlight on him, so it probably would have came out because I do believe he was open with his fellow college teammates. So already he was known as a gay football player, but to me, I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's almost like to a point where I just hear, I've been doing some research over the last few hours on this particular player, and now he's getting awards and standing ovations and plaques and ceremonies and all this stuff because he came out and said he was gay. Isn't that so much a double standard that gay right activists say we just want to be treated as equal? We just want the same equal rights as a straight person, gay, whatever. Okay, fine. Well, you're not getting the same treatment everyone else is right now for you being in the spotlight saying you're gay. So isn't that like a double standard? Isn't that like kind of like, okay, if he wouldn't have came out as gay, he wouldn't be in the spotlight with all these ceremonies and prizes and awards and all this stuff. So just because he is gay, he's getting famous.
Yep.
He's getting his name known everywhere. So folks, I mean, this is an interesting question here. If you want to get treated the same, you got to get treated the same. Not come out now. He's going to have other players going, okay, he's only famous because he's gay. He said he was gay, and now everyone wants to talk to this guy.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous. Because first off, we had a basketball player and just recently come out. Was that pro basketball? I don't know his name, but he just came out and openly said he was gay too, and then he got all this hoopla too. But this is NFL. A lot more people watch NFL. And I think all the media and everything just jumped on his bandwagon real quick. And they just
patting him on the back. He's so great. He's so wonderful. He's so courageous and all this stuff. It's like, you know what, folks? If we want to make gay players feel comfortable, let's not make it a big deal.
Yes. I mean,
let's just say, hey, okay, you're fine, you're gay, great, let's move on. Can he play football?
Yes, that's the main thing. Can he play football?
Can he block? Can he rush the because he is supposed to be a linebacker? Can he get to the quarterback? That's what I care about.
Yeah.
Who cares who you sleep with? I do not. You could sleep with donkeys for all I care. I want to know, can this guy play football? That's private. Yep. Do that in your own time. That's like every other football player going, hey, I sleep with women all the time. Well, who cares? Who wants to hear about that?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. So it does. I mean, I understand it's a little because this is the first openly gay football player. I understand that, but let's move past that.
Yeah.
If we're going to be bigger than okay, we have to figure out if a gay athlete is going to be accepted in the football locker room. Well, let's just not make it a big deal. Either way, you know. I mean, if I have a gay friend and I introduce him to one of my other friends, as long as he's a nice person and got a good heart, that's all that should matter. It's not like they're going to try to rape my friend. I mean, that's retarded. It's the way people think or something. So anyway, give us your comments and feedback on that. Should Michael Sams be treated any differently, pro-gay or anti-gay? Right now it's so pro, it's ridiculous. They're throwing flowers and everything where this guy walks like he's, you know, the second coming. It's ridiculous. Or should he have held out and waited till after the draft? There's a lot of good questions with this. There's really no right or wrong answer. But moving on from there. About a week ago, Odog, I know you're not a NasCar guy, but I just got to throw this out there because it's been killing me all week, folks. I've been biting my nails trying to get on the show to talk about it. Richard Petty, the king of racing. He has more championships than anyone else. Came out and kind of dissed Danica Patrick, saying that, you know, if she wasn't a beautiful woman, if she wasn't very attractive and nice figure, that she wouldn't have sponsors like she has now. I mean, the GoDaddy has her half butt naked on the TV.
Exactly. I've seen that.
Yeah, everyone's seen. I mean, Danica, if you want to be taken seriously, you cannot be on TV half butt naked and having all these guys going goo goo gaga for you, and then when you don't win a race, get upset when Tom Petty comes out and says, you're not a race car driver, you're eye candy, because that's what she is.
Exactly.
About 6 months ago, you can go back, look at one of our shows. We did a specific show on Danica Patrick because she wasn't winning races. She was wrecking her cars. She could not finish a race. And it's happening even right now, even to this day. So Richard Petty, in my opinion, thank God he had a pair to come out against her, because everyone else, Tony Stewart just came out and says, oh, screw Richard Petty. Danica Patrick should challenge him to a race. Danica Patrick, you would get pimp slapped all over the court, all over the track by Richard Petty. Don't do it. That'd be embarrassing. But what do you think? I mean, are you familiar with Danica Patrick besides just the GoDaddy commercials, or?
I'm not too familiar with her, but the thing is, you know, she is a driver for the GoDaddy car.
Yes.
And all the cars they're all the same. They're all made the same. They all put out the same horsepower. They're all built the same. And she's not even coming close to winning. You know, that's one of the things, you know.
And the thing that Richard Petty brought up too is it's kind of unfair because there are 100 racers right now that cannot get sponsorships, cannot get a car, and they're better drivers than half the guys in NASCAR right now, but they can't get a break into NASCAR.
Exactly.
So she's holding up a spot basically for some new superstar that could come in there and win races.
Yep. And then recently she was in that commercial too for the Super Bowl commercials.
Yes.
It's like, why is she even in the commercial? Dude? This is promoting NASCAR, or is it?
I'll tell you right now, folks. Danica, I have no problem with you racing NASCAR. That's fine. We love to watch you. You are eye candy for half, if not more than half of middle-aged guys that do watch NASCAR. The problem is don't get upset when someone calls you out, puts you, out on Front Street when they're telling the truth. Richard Petty is telling the truth. You have not even came close to winning a race in how many years? And you're still right there at the top of the most popular sports car drivers. I guarantee you, if she looked like Beetlejuice or some, some normal lady, she would not have a car. She would not be racing.
No.
What do you think?
But it was working though.
And it's working. Richard Petty even came out and gave her a compliment and said, "Hey, if it works, go with it."
Yes. But are you going to win? That's the main thing.
But don't get upset when he's telling the truth. Richard Petty's telling the truth. The guy has more championships. He knows racing. And he could see that she does not have what it takes to be a championship race car driver.
Yes. And then that's the thing, she's been playing, racing all this time. Put together a good run or win a race, all this will probably go away.
Yeah.
You just got to do that.
All right, so Odog, moving on from there, we're going to cut away real quick, take a break, and then we have some calls coming in because, again, this is our 100th episode. We were lucky enough to get Odog to come in, talk some sports with us. Now that he's done it, maybe we'll get him more in the studio, in the house with us to do it. But real quick, we got to thank our sponsors. We got the Player Zone. Again, all your gaming needs. Have you ever heard of the Player Zone?
I've been there a few times.
Oh, have you been there? All right. So even Odog knows it. Gaming, your Magic the Gathering, sports cards, memorabilia. I mean, they got Star Wars figures. They got vintage comic books. Any of your gaming needs, nerd, geeky needs, they'll hook you up. If you want to learn about Magic the Gathering, which is their most popular game, if I'm not mistaken. Have you ever played Magic?
I've played Magic a few times.
Okay, so, I mean, everyone plays it. If you're interested, going down to see the Player Zone at 2117 Sudreth in Ruidoso, New Mexico, or you can contact them at 575-257-0559 and just say, hey, I want to learn about Magic. They'll hook you up. We also got to thank Freestyle Productions and Freestyle Jewelry. The production side of their company hooks us up with all of our No Bully, Let's Be a Friend campaign. If you're interested in getting involved, helping stop the bullying, you can write to us at P.O. Box 1942, Capitan, New Mexico. That's 88316. Give us your story. Tell us what's going on in your school, in your town, in your home. If you're being bullied, if you don't want to have your name brought out on the show, it's totally confidential. But we'd love to share your story and send you a No Bully Zone plaque here. You can put it in your car, business windows, somewhere, because we have to stop the bullying. Kids are losing their lives, and it's ridiculous. No sense about bullying. Okay, and then on the jewelry side, if you're interested in gold, they will hook you up. It's called Goldfield Jewelry. Low prices, but the great gold looks, quality gold look. Again, you can contact Freestyle Jewelry through the Player Zone. And then we can't forget Gonzo Jerseys. Hooks you up with some fly jerseys. If you let him know you heard about him through our show, he'll get you any jersey you want for 45 to 50 bucks. Straight. Just no tax, all right? Now, to contact Gonzo Jersey, you just hit 575-808-0892. Just ask for the Jersey guy, and he'll hook you up with whatever needs you have. And then we can't forget about Seeping Springs RV Park and Campground. It's warming up, man. Can you believe? We're in Ruidoso, New Mexico right now in the dead of winter, and it's like 65, 70 degrees. Well, as soon as the weather keeps hitting those higher temperatures, out on Highway 70 heading towards Roswell, look for the big fish sign out there. RV Park, Seeping Springs, and Campground. They'll hook you up with all your fishing needs. It's a great time. Paddle boats, just an amazing time. So, with that said, Odog, let's cut away real quick. When we come back, we're going to have some cool guests on for you all. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back from the break. Now, we have a really cool part to the show. Again, this is our 100th episode, so we wanted to go all out. And we had to go dig up our old friend, our old companion, the host of the Magic Minute, Lady Amatyst. What's up, girl?
Nothing much. Just hanging out.
So how is it there in the big city?
It's fun.
It's fun, huh? Have you been keeping up with your magic?
I have.
All right. So right now, Born of the Gods just released last week. What do you think?
I think it's amazing. The Theros block is just mind-blowing.
What's your favorite card out of the set?
I'm not sure.
There's so many, right?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of decks are you building right now out of the Born of the Gods? Or what are you implementing it with?
I've been building with lots of green cards, naturally, and Aspect of the Hydra has really wowed me.
Right. How about the green and red god?
The green and red god? Yes, he's interesting.
Especially when
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but in the last set, he was a planeswalker.
That's correct. That is right. Wow. So, what are the big things that are going to be coming up that we need to be looking at for Magic? Anything you got on your radar?
Not currently.
You excited about the release tournaments where you have to face the Boros Reckoner decks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting. Well, let me ask, do you mind if we can speak to Big Sarge real quick?
Okay, he's right here with me.
All right, Lady Amatyst, thank you so much for your time.
This is Big Sarge.
Hey, Big Sarge, what's going on? How you liking this Born of the Gods block?
Hey, we like Born of the Gods a lot here. It's a really cool set. The Theros block, I think, is going to be extremely strong. It's going to add to things that have been done prior to Ravnica. And it even adds when you start building a modern deck.
Yeah.
To give, Innistrad, just build on stuff that's already been done. It's kind of nice to see that in Magic instead of the haphazard changing that happened for a while. So I like it a lot. I like the Born of the Gods. I like the Greek theme, the mythology themes that they brought up. I think the character building is really cool. The backstory is really cool. It's going to be a fun block.
Oh, I know. So we have now nothing drops until October, correct?
The complete block, yeah, will be done. I'm not sure. I know we have Theros out, we have Born of the Gods out. I'm not sure what the next one is coming out. The title, but I know it'll be a couple of months.
Right.
Until it's completely out.
Well, that is so cool, man. We really appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us a little bit about Magic. We've really missed you guys on the Magic Minute. We're going to have to try to figure a way to get you guys involved in that still.
We are. The big thing we're doing here is we're starting a Magic Club where we live. And we're doing it a little different. We're going to have kind of a shop storefront, but it's going to be a club in some aspects to where we get together on Friday nights and play Magic like a Magic League at the 806 Coffee Shop. And that's something new we're promoting and a new style of playing where we build community. Get a bunch of friends together and just have a good time.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That sounds great. Well, we'll have to go down and check it out then one weekend.
Well, sounds good, J-Real. As always, it's good talking to you.
All right, Big Sarge. You tell Lady Amatyst and the rest of the Enchanted Forest folks over there, we said have a good weekend.
We sure will.
All right, brother. All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, so you being a fellow player, what did you think about the Born of the Gods block?
Well, Born of the Gods, that's quite a bit of, there's some good stuff in there. There's a lot of cards that give other cards abilities to do things, and they mix and match really well.
What do you think about the bestow abilities?
Oh, the bestow is pretty good. It's a little high costing, but once you bestow a creature, it just blows up that creature really quick, real fast.
Yeah, it also probably depends on what bestow you're using, right?
Yes.
For any of you that are not familiar, or if you haven't played in the new blocks, since Theros anyway, bestow is where you can actually take a creature that's a creature enchantment, correct?
Yes.
Instead of paying the mana cost, you pay the bestow cost, which is in the center of the card, which is usually quite a bit of mana.
Yes.
But you can bestow, is what it's called, and equip it, even though it's a creature, to another creature and give it its bonuses at the bottom. Then, once someone kills that creature, the bestow creature becomes the creature on its own. So what happens is it gives the ability to split those cards. One dies, one stays on the field.
Yes.
So bestow is pretty cool.
It is a good card. I mean, yeah, it gives you the ability to, like, if you put a regular enchantment on it, they both go away.
Right.
It dies. But with this one, you kill the creature, but the bestow goes away with the creature, but the creature ends up being on the board yet, which
it helps out.
Helps you out.
Absolutely. All right. Now again, this is Magic the Gathering. For any of you that are interested in learning a fantasy game, if you're into dragons, elves, warlocks, what else we got? Fairies, goblins, minotaurs, centaurs, you name it. Magic the Gathering is right up your alley. come on into the player zone and they're going to get you fixed up. Well, right now, bro, what do you think? I mean, this is our 100th episode. We were able to get you on. We talked a lot about NCAA sports, a little bit about pro sports. We had Big Sarge and Lady Amatyst come on. Is there anything else we want to wrap up with?
I think you did a really good job this season with this 100th episode, and I'm impressed with some of your shows. You know, you did some really good shows.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We've worked hard. As a matter of fact, the whole concept of this came from me and Odog's actually working together at the resort here and kind of talk sports every morning when we show up at work. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Talk a lot of sports, and then one day we're just deciding, man, we ought to try to get some little show together and do our own thing, and then we ended up going in different directions and different areas and just kind of fell apart. So I'm glad we were able to get him on. And folks, again, we're running this 1 a week format right now. If you're not digging it, give us feedback and comment. If you want us to go back to the Tuesday and Friday shows, we can do that. But as for right now, we're going to stick with the Friday until we get some more feedback that we need to get that Tuesday show. So for right now, Odog, I'm going to thank you again. Appreciate Lady Amatyst and Big Sarge. We appreciate you all for paying attention for almost a year now. Our 100th episode. It's unbelievable. Can't believe it's happened, and now we're moving on. We're going to go to our we're going to be pushing 200 now. We're going to go for 200. So for right now, J Real's going to sign out. Peace and much love. We will see you on the next Friday's show. Thanks, brother.